All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody is having an awesome day today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that didn't get the message over the weekend. We greatly appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the day of celebrating you. Let's dive in. So as always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. So we're going to hop over to the calendar, take a look at the calendar, see where things are for the day, and then we'll hop into the charts and see what's popping. All right. Let me get everybody access to the microphone. All right, beautiful. So let's slide over. And just to get caught up, yesterday we had Empire State Manufacturing Index came in below expectation. So negative for the dollar there. Monetary policy minutes for Australia. What they talked about there is they considered a pause, but they ultimately determined that inflation is still too high, and the core inflation number, the decline has slowed. So, but they did say that they were past the peak inflation, right? And things are coming down, but they started to come down slower than expected, and inflation overall is just too high. So that warranted the 25 basis point interest increase. And they did not roll out, or they would not roll out any future hikes. So that's a brief overview or summary of the meeting minutes, which could give a boost to the Aussie at some point. Well, didn't really, but we saw reversals there. And economic sentiment below expectation there, coming out of Germany, caused some concerns on the euro side of things. So that's it. Coming in today, we got CPI for the Canadian dollar. Definitely could give us some insight there on where the CAD moves. Retail sales for the United States also at 8:30. You got President Lagarde coming to the microphone at 10 o'clock. And wage price index for the Aussie coming in tonight. This week overall, we do have President Lagarde does a few interviews or recorded talks, and Jerome Powell also is on a panel talking about the economy and inflation. So with those conversations, they could cause some volatility in the market. So those are things to keep your eyes on. Also, Governor Bailey is also speaking tomorrow morning. And then we have employment change and unemployment rate for the Australian dollar coming in on a Wednesday. Monetary policy report hearing for the Bank of England on Thursday, along with unemployment claims for the dollar. We're definitely likely to start seeing these unemployment numbers slowly start to tick up. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. A lot of those organizations that had that first round of layoffs at the beginning of the year, those layoffs were, those folks were given 6, 8, 10 month, some 12-month packages. So they spread out the time frame in which they would actually be let go from the company. So they were still employees of the company for 3, 6, 8 months. So those 3 months and those 6 month time frames are coming due. So we're going to start seeing these unemployment numbers start to tick up as those folks get their last checks from the organization and start to apply for unemployment. So we're going to start to see those numbers tick up there. And then we have Governor Macklem coming to the microphone on Thursday as well for the Bank of Canada. And then on Friday, we got retail sales for Canada. And then this is where Fed Chair Powell and President Lagarde will be at the microphone again. So relatively busy week. Have some things that definitely could give us some movement in the market there. So we'll keep our eyes peeled there. From trading economics, talk about that, the morale, economic sentiment falls in Germany. Which caused a little bit of slip in the euro, and that's pretty much it. Did you guys see anything over the weekend or this morning from a fundamental perspective that caught your eye or you would like to discuss? Nope. All right. Cool deal. So let's hop over to the markets. We had quite a bit of movement Sunday and Monday. So we're going to trek through the pairs just to get an update on where things are from the weekend, and then we'll see what if there's anything jumping off for us for today. All right. So 1 second. All right, cool deal. All right, so let's take a look at the dollar real quick, and we will go from there. So, dollar index, right? Closed the last week, pushed us to the high of the range, right? Now we're pulling back. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see if we just hang out at this previous resistance level right here, right? And then bounce back to the upside, or do we make our way back to the bottom of this range, right? Do we make our way back to the bottom of that range? So something that we will watch to see what happens. We see we had support here, some resistance, right? We had some resistance here as well. So this will be a level to see if we bounce and push higher, finally break out of the range, or if we come back down to the bottom. But ultimately, at the moment, we are still stuck in this range overall on the dollar. All right. So video on Forex Factory is talking about the dollar will not be down for long, and even with the talks of China taking over, it will not be until 10 years or more. Gotcha. Yeah, the stuff with China. Now I don't know if it'll be 10 years. There are a lot of things happening that have expedited some of those scenarios where the dollar could be removed as the world's reserve currency. However, it won't be today, right? But it's definitely possible for the dollar to push back to the upside, seeing as the things that are happening, and the dollar currently could also still be is still used as a safe haven currency, being the world reserve currency. So definitely not counting out the dollar being able to push to the upside. It's just interesting to watch all of the things that happen. So as more banks start to or continue to fail, it'll be interesting to see how the dollar responds and how investors respond to that. Because the banking crisis isn't over yet. We will see more banks fail. So we want to see, right, and watch how the dollar responds to that, how investors respond to that as well. And then there are other things that are still to come when it comes to real estate and commercial real estate, and how they will be affected later on this year, next year, and 2025, due to the interest rate hikes and those loans being renewed. On the commercial side, commercial real estate, they don't have 30-year mortgages like residential side. Those are 3, 5, sometimes 7-year terms. And those, I was reading an article and they said by 2025, up to approximately 50% of all commercial real estate loans will be up for renewal, right? And that renewal will be at a higher interest rate, right? Because interest rates are going up. Now you add that to a lot of these buildings are still vacant due to people not coming back into the office and things like that. So the owners of those buildings aren't getting rent from the people that were renting them, the companies, right? So companies aren't renting them; those owners have to foot the bill for those mortgage payments, right? And they're not making any money, and they're shelling out even more money once these loans become due. So you could see a lot of commercial real estate start to get foreclosed on, and the folks walk away from some of those, or a lot of those buildings. That's one of the reasons for companies really pressing to get people back into the office. They say for productivity, but also from a commercial real estate perspective, and some of the issues that are seen coming down the line. So it'll be interesting to see how the dollar responds to a lot of those things. You also have countries moving away from the dollar, which is a whole nother conversation when it comes to de-dollarization. But there's a lot of things that are happening from that perspective, and that's not even including the wars and things like that could also continue to increase some of the volatility and changes from an economic perspective. So it's a lot happening. So we'll see what transpires and how the dollar responds as those things continue to progress. So good thoughts, though. If you could share the link to that video, that'd be great. Definitely love to check it out. So that's the dollar. Let's take a look at, well, since we're here, we'll take a look at the dollar CAD, right? Last week, we had this 80-20 scenario, right? And we're looking for price to push to the upside. Beautiful move, right? Through Friday, boom, 238 TP2. Got a nice level of resistance that formed there. This is on a 1-hour time frame. And we got this reversal, right, out of that 618 retracement level, right? So now we're looking at price coming down to, right, the matching the extension potentially at 132.046, right? If we get price to continue to move down, if the dollar makes its way back to the bottom of that range. Thank you, Carolyn. But also, if we flip our fib on this, right, we see we had an 80-20 scenario here in the opposite direction, right? So the 80-20 scenario there, boom, then he broke this down, price moving back down to the downside, right? So 80-20 scenario in line with that 618 retracement zone, right? A high probability reversal zone, boom, price moving to the downside from Sunday, right? So currently price is up down 85 pips. So if you played that move off of Sunday or Monday, right, in profit there, looking to see if price continues to move to the downside, and if it does, how far, right? Do we break below that and head to the D extension, or do we come back to that 618 retracement level on the sub fib here, right, and then start making our way back to the upside in favor of the dollar? All right, so that's an update on the dollar CAD, moving to the downside as expected, just shy of the 382 right now. But beautiful move beautiful move, beautiful setup. Now we'll just see how much of a retracement we get here. All right. So that's a dollar CAD. Any questions on that one? Anybody in that trade to the downside? No. All right. Ebony, sweet, great work. Cool deal. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Doing
Awesome.
pretty good. It's gonna be a great day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It will. Been a great start to the week already.
For sure.
You see anything fundamentally that caught your eye yesterday or this morning? Are you busy for you
Uh,
already?
I, I, yeah, but I did see. I was looking at that China's industrial output was less than expected.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of playing into that whole narrative that it's not things aren't taking off like people expected. At the beginning of the year for China, which kind of can weigh on the Aussie dollar, and things like that. So that, and then I know we got Fed people speaking this week, and then we've got Lagarde speaking today too, right? 10 a.m. I think it is, something like that.
Yep. Today and
Yeah,
then again on Friday. Yep.
yeah. So just paying close attention to what they have to say. That's just about it.
Sure. Cool deal, man. Appreciate you, bro. Let's take a look at this dollar yen. Right. Benny talked about over the weekend uh fading the yen strength, right? So looking bullish on all of the yen crosses. And on this dollar yen, right? Beautiful 80-20 played to the downside, came into a 786, just shy of an 86 retracement, right? And we started to make that wave back to the upside. And right, coming in the last week, came back down, retested that low, and started its push, right? So we got another push to the upside, starting to get a bit of a retracement now. So if we run the sub fib to the upside, right here, shorter time frame, we got an 80-20 scenario here, right? Potentially looking for a pullback, and then we'll see if we get a continuation back to right the matching D extension here, which we also talked about last week. Benny brought up seeing if price gets back to the D extension there, right? So on this dollar yen, right, here's a shorter term 80-20 that could play back down to a low price and then get long, or you can wait for that low price, right, and then get in on the bullish action to the upside, making its way to the matching D extension here at 137.028. All right. So if you play the shorter term move, we got TP1 here and TP2 here. Right, which comes in line with the previous level of resistance there. Right. And TP1 is another level of resistance that we had there. All right. So short term opportunity there, right? 80 pips to if we get to TP2, 50 pips if we get to TP1, right? So TP2 would be a one-to-one scenario if you put your stop outside the D extension. Um, TP1 will be a one-to-one if you put your stop above the high, right? So that's the opportunity there. But overall, we're looking long on this yen cross. Looking for price to push to the upside, looking for potentially a low price to then get back long. You guys follow me there? Any questions on this dollar yen?
Nope.
Sweet. All right. Um, dollar Swissy. Let me clean this up a bit. Maybe. Hold up. Another update, There we go. All right, this dollar Swissy is still caught in this range, right? At the low, pressing sideways. I'm just going to take these all the way out. There's our fib there, right? So on the 1 hour, we are ranging in this 118, 127 zone, be boundary level just below this 90 cents daily resistance level here, right? So we're just pressing sideways. Love to see price push to the upside, break above that level, and give us a nice retracement, right? So this one, let's bounce back and let's walk through this one from the daily. All right. So on the daily, sitting at a B boundary, right? Still below. So this is in a range similar to the DXY, right? So it had a nice push to the top of the range, and now we're pulling back. So we'll see either price push back to the bottom of the range or see if price turns over and makes its way back to the upside. All right. So that's our AB boundary there on the daily time frame. 382 is at 91,412. Okay. If we're able to break above this resistance level that we've just been hovering at. So as we come down to the 4, boom. All right. So on the 4, we got an 80-20 scenario as well. All right. We push down into that 118, 127 zone here on the 3rd, trying to make our way to the upside. All right. We know the recent past, due to some of the risk off sentiment, that Swissy has had some strength. So we'll see if we get a turn here and get price to push above that level, right? So we got some confirmation, right? Daily B boundary, 4 hour 118, 127 zone. 1 hour, you also got your 118, 127 zone as well, right? So looking at the 80-20 scenario here on the dollar Swiss, see if we're able to get some bullish action and push to the upside there. All right, so we'll continue watching this one. We'll drop the cloud on, and we're just hovering through the cloud right now. All right, just hovering through the cloud right now. So be patient with this one, right? Wait for your confirmations to be met. Nice bullish push, maybe even a break above that 90 cents level. And that'll give us that opportunity to ride that to the upside, at least to the 382. All right. Questions on the dollar Swiss? You guys follow me on that one? Yes. All right. Whoops. Take that down. My bad. There we go. All right. So that's the dollar Swiss. We'll keep our eyes peeled there. And let's hop over to the Aussies. Aussie yen. So we're looking at this one, right? And again, right, Benny's talking about fading that yen strength. So we got these pushes to the downside, and we're looking for buying opportunities, right? Overall on this yen, right, we're trapped in this range overall. Okay. Coming to the 4, you see the bounce back and forth. We had the 80-20 scenario there. Price pushed up, came back down, right? And then we pushed up again. Now we're in this slight retracement phase, right? But we got this bullish action that we were looking for out of the weekend, right? So come down to the 1, we see that a little bit more closely as we map the fibs all the way through, right? So on Saturday, this was the fib here, right? And we started to see price kind of hover a bit, and we're looking for that bullish action to come. And we got a nice break. If you had a trend line running, would have looked like this through the consolidation, outermost point, and we got a break of the trend line here on Sunday, right? So that was a nice push to the upside, 100 pips, right? Joy, you said no and yes. What questions you got? I think it was on the dollar Swiss.
I didn't have any question. Yes, I understood.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you. All right, so that move to the upside was beautiful, 100 pips, right? Beautiful play. Took out the A, so we flipped the fib, and now we're walking to the upside, right? And so now here was an 80-20 scenario. Reject off that trend line, push down. We got to the 382. See if we get a little bit deeper to that 618 level, right in our sweet spot, right? And then we can look long again, right? See if we get a pullback like that, and then look for some buying opportunities to again continue to fade that yen strength. Looking for price to come back up like that. All right. So, right, just tracking the fibs all the way through here, right? To the upside, to the downside, took out the A. Now we're making our way back to the upside, right? In this overall range bounce back and forth that this Aussie yen is doing, right? So this is what we're looking at on Aussie yen. Be patient here, wait on this pullback to come. And then we'll see if we get some buying opportunities down here. And we'll look for this play. Like that. All right. That's the Aussie yen. Questions here. That'll be a nice setup if we get that. $150 to the D extension. All right. 55 just below the A. 3-1, right? Benny talked about over the weekend setting it up, right? 2-1, 3-1 scenarios, right? So 50 pips, you can take it just 100, right? Back to this 118, 127 zone. That'd be your 2-1 scenario there. You can take a profit on it, right? If you're not looking to hold that all the way to the upside. So no questions on the Aussie yen. You in a buy on this one, Joy?
Yep.
Did you take it from down here or you take it from higher?
I'm waiting on my what's the name. I'm waiting on my what's the name to open because it looked like I was like about 50 pips in profit. I forgot what level I took it at.
Okay. So that sounds like you might have grabbed it off that break.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, that's nice work, right? Taking that original move on this pullback might have an opportunity to add to if we get that bullish action there.
Okay, I got you.
Managing to stop on that other one too. Yeah, great work. Great work. All right, so that's Aussie yen. Aussie Swiss. So here, a couple things, right? Daily pushed up just shy of that daily level at 65.77, right? 236 retracement level on the daily. Price turnover, press to the downside. This is one we're tracking on the lower time frames. But on the 4, right, we also had this 80-20 scenario play out to the upside. We're looking to see if we got price to push into that level, but it didn't. Gave us a double top and then started making its way down. So one of two things from a higher time frame perspective. Either, right, we continue to move down and get to the D extension like that, right? Or we get another pullback, come back, retest these levels again, and then push down. Right? We'll see how the week progresses. But right now, the bias on this is bearish. Right? The bias is bearish. 618 retracement, pressing to the downside. All right. So that was the higher time frame move. Then on the lower time frame, right, you had an 80-20 scenario right in that zone, right? Shallow retracement 118 to 127. We got that sideways push, double top scenario, price broke down. So we made it to TP1, 94 pips. Now we'll see if price can continue to break down and get lower, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here at that 38.2 level, right? But we're moving to the downside here. It's in profit, man. Beautiful move to the downside. Let's see if we get some continuation there. Yeah, it was a great play, right? And if you trade it off the 4, right, up 37 pips, or if you took it from last week, right, you're up about 50. All right, so we'll continue to watch this one as it makes its way to the downside there. All right. Questions on that Aussie Swiss? Nope. All right.
Nope, I think we're good.
Cool deal. Aussie New Zealand. From a daily time frame perspective, this one is interesting, right? Might end up being stuck in this range a bit, right? Then you talk about things happening in China, right? China, trade partner for both Australia and New Zealand, right? So we got this push down to the downside here, and we made our way back up. And then we had this long, nice retracement back to the downside, 8-6 retracement. Now we're trying to make our way back to the upside. Had a strong bullish push on Thursday, right? And now we're pulling back. So I'm looking for price to come down into this range here. All right, come down into that range there, and we'll see what happens. But, right, bullish decision, indecision. Let's see if this ends in a decision candle. That could give us some more bearish action there, at least for a little bit. Coming down to the 4, this is the look here. All right, this is the look. So these are the fibs coming off the high of that range. We got a 50% retracement. Couldn't break out back to the downside. Pushed up. Now we're pulling back. So we could even potentially end up with a crown pattern here on a reversal. So we'll watch to see what that looks like, right? But we got this nice retracement happening now. We'll see what that is on the lower time frame. But we're pulling back now, right, off the harmonic fib to the upside, coming into a 50% retracement there. Hold on 1 second. Coming into a 50% retracement here. Right, so let's see if we get a push a little bit deeper. Okay, see if we get a push a little bit deeper. Let's see something. Let's bring this down. Oh yeah. All right, so that zone that I'm looking at is 786, 86 retracement zone, right? Down into our sweet spot. So let's see. Let's see if we get that. Looking for buying opportunities down here. See if we get that crown action there. All right, so coming down to the 1, this is what you got here. We got bullish action, right? We saw this 80-20 develop. Shallow retracement 118, 127 zone. Boom. Beautiful push to the upside, right? So now took that A out, flipped the fib in the opposite direction. Another 80-20 scenario, shallow retracement 118, 127, right? So even if you're a person that only wanted to trade one pair, right? Don't want to mark up all pairs. I just want to highlight one pair and just trade that one pair. Yeah, you'll get less trade setups. However, those setups still will come, right? You won't have as many trades, which is cool, right? So you can do that. 80-20 scenario, boom. 80-20 scenario, boom. Just playing off the 1 hour time frame, right? So now we look for this retracement, right? Excuse me. So we're looking at price in the retracement zone here, coming down. Let's see what happens. 618, 786, 86 retracement levels. All right. So on this one, we'll see if we get this crown pattern. Like that. Okay. So let's watch and see. Let's watch and see. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The waves play how the waves play, man. They play how they play. So, any questions on this Aussie New Zealand? Anybody in this 80-20 to the downside here? No. Okay. All good. All right. Beautiful move nonetheless. The Euro NZD. Okay. Yep. So that's we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one for that C to D move. All right. Keep watching. Cool deal. Aussie dollar. So similar to the dollar pairs, right? Caught in the range from a higher time frame perspective. We're down to the 4. Beautiful move here, B to C. Boom. And we got this push off the low. 8-6 retracement. Push to the upside. Now we're getting a bit of a retracement and see if we get some continuation to the upside. Making our way to the matching D extension here at 68,356. Okay. Leverage on the Aussie. Right. So we'll see how this one fares, right? We're still in our sweet spot on those C to D moves. Okay. 618 zone. So that's still in our sweet spot. We'll see if we get some bullish action. To the upside. At some point, right? Or if the dollar, if that A gets taken out, right? We zoom out. That's a sub fib. We zoom out here. And this is that 80-20 scenario on the 4 that we've been watching for quite some time, right? This dotted line here is at 382, which is in line with the matching D extension if we get another push to the upside, right? So a lot will have to happen with the dollar in order for that to occur. So we'll see. We'll see what happens throughout the week, all right? See what happens throughout the week. Coming down to the 1 hour, we got a 50% push here. Price hit the D extension with the spike on that news, and then we got the reversal to the downside. So we'll run the fib off the high. Boom. 80-20 scenario on the 1, right? Reversal opportunity, potentially even a crown pattern if price turns over and pushes back to the upside here. All right, so we'll see what transpires. Thought we might get to that D extension, but we did get price to turn over and push. Okay, so we'll watch this one closely as well to see if we get this.
Hey Ryan, can you put on your cloud for me?
Yeah. All right, that's the crown pattern there. See if that comes out. But we'll watch this closely to see what happens. All right, drop the cloud on. Boom. Bullish ahead, but we haven't broken through yet.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right. Got your TK crossover, twist. Now we just need a break of the cloud. All right. If you use the cloud as your confirmation point. All right. But 80-20 scenario nonetheless. So we'll watch this closely to see what happens. Actually, I like that. All right. Any questions on the Aussie dollar? So we see, right? Tons of beginning of the week, right? We're just on Tuesday. This is another 70 pip move. So we've already seen, right, plays coming out of the weekend. What, this is 300, 400 pips already, right? So the opportunities are there. The opportunities are there. You just got to wait for your rules to be met. All right? Wait for your rules to be met. And then when they are, just pull the trigger. All right, so get a nice retracement here. So let's see. That's your wave on the smart fib. Push down to a 618 retracement zone. We'll see if we can start getting that bullish push there. All right, for those that may not have taken that out of that 118, 127 zone. Okay. No questions there. CAD yen. All right. Continuing to fade that yen strength. Right. So here on the daily, still in this 80-20 scenario, right? Benny talked about on the weekend. It's slowly making its way to the upside, right? Higher highs and higher lows, taking its time. See if we're able to break above this 101, 190 level, right? And finally get to that D extension at 103, 605. But bullish on this CAD yen, right? On the 4, bouncing back and forth in between this AB boundary, right? But trying to get bullish nonetheless. We got a 786 retracement. We pulled back to the 50% zone again, and now we're trying to push, right? So coming down to the 1, this is what that looked like. We had the 80-20 scenario, right, on the retracement through last week. Beautiful move to the downside. That 118, 120, just shy of that 118 and 127 zone. At its lowest, that was 195 pips. Now, right, that C to D push, which we also talked about, right? Looking to get long there. 618 retracement, 786 retracement. Let's look to get long. Boom. Price is moving to the upside here. 137 pips at its high. Now we're ranging. See if we get another bullish push to break that daily resistance level finally, right, and make our way to the D extension. But the point that Benny's been making, Benny made all day on Saturday, right? Fade the yen strength, right, and get bullish on these yen crosses. It's all right there. It's all right there, right? That's what we got. Well, that's what we're getting, right? And we still got a ways to go to get to that 103, 605. Okay. CAD yen, bullish. Questions here?
No.
All right.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ebony because I seen that GJ took off and I was like, dang, it was gone. So I wanted to congratulate her on that play. But I did catch this one.
Johnson Sevens in the chat for Ebony.
Thank you.
Listen, the engagement in the Discord channel has been awesome. We love to see it. Let's continue that, right? Continue to share the ideas, continue to ask the questions, right? that engagement, that back and forth, it helps us to become stronger, each of us individually, right? And collectively. And that's ultimately what we created this group for, right? Kudos to you, Ebony. Thanks, Joy, for pointing that out, right? And let's continue that. Carolyn as well, right? Carolyn, Joy, Ebony, the post, the charts. Let's continue doing that, right? Anybody that hasn't posted their charts yet, go ahead and post your ideas, right? What are you looking at? What questions do you have? Post a chart with it, right? And we can talk about it and get that back and forth happening, right? It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing when we come together, right? Help each other become our best self. We can change the world. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. All right, cool deal. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's the Cadian, then Cat Swiss. That should be daily. Right? Daily time frame. We're talking about this one for a bit. We pushed down. We thought we were going to get to the D extension, have this immediately reverse. Now we're looking to see if we're able to continue to get bullish here. Okay. Yep. Trying to see if we get bullish here and break out to the upside there. All right. So coming down to the 4, I'm gonna pull the cloud off, but we did break the cloud. We broke the cloud, right? Coming back to retest the cloud. We'll see if we get more of a retracement first before we get bullish, but we're riding that trend line, right? Riding that down trend line there. Okay. So I would love to see push down, right? One more push to the downside, right? My TP is here below that level, but I'd love to see a push down, get to that level, and then break the trend line. Selfishly, obviously, but we'll see if the market agrees with me. Coming down to the 1, this is why I'd like to see that. All right. The TP1 level is right there at 65,694, 80-20 scenario, right? That we've been watching. It's been taking its time. We got to push to that monthly level that we broke through and we've been hovering at. So we'll see if we're able to get through that to get to TP1, right? If not, then we'll look to secure the little profit that we have and look for buying opportunities on that one, right? But that's what I'm looking at. Potentially, we may not get it, but if we get another push down, I'd love it, and then get bullish on that one to the upside, right? Overall, looking long, and hopefully that 80-20 scenario we'll get a chance to play out. And if we're able to break back above this, we got another daily level here at 66,958, right? Which will also give us a break of the downtrend line as well, right? So bringing all of the things that we teach together, right? 80-20 scenario, support, resistance zones, trend lines, and your cloud, right? All into one setup here on this one. Right.
How many confirmations would you give yourself? Would you give yourself 2 or would you give yourself 3?
On this one, what I'd really like to see is a break above this level here. All right. This is where I got my stop loss sitting. But what that would do, and this is looking for buying, right? If we don't get this deeper push, right? Obviously, if we get this deeper push, I'm looking for price to come down into the sweet spot. But if we don't get it and price turns over, what I want to see is price break the trend line and break that resistance level there and give me a pullback like that. That's what I'd like to see. Right, so trend line break and break above that resistance. So those two, right? Because we already know from a 4-hour perspective, we're already above the cloud. Right. So on the 1, we drop that on there. And we're just hovering at it right now. Yeah. So that's what if I was going to buy this on a push to the upside, that's what I'd be looking for. Yeah. Yeah. But overall, my bias is bullish, but I'd like to get that low price to really give my optimal buying opportunity on that. I hope that answered your question, Joy.
It did.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on this one? No? All right. Swiss yen. Again, fading the yen's strength. On this one, we got an 8-6 retracement beginning of the year, pushing to the upside, creating new highs, came just shy of that daily D extension, right? And now we've been hovering at this previous monthly resistance level, previous all-time high, right? And now we're pushing back above, right? Pushing back above that level. We'll see if we're able to continue up, give us a double top, hit that daily D extension. We'll see, right? But in favor of the Swissy here against the yen, coming down to the 4, right? We do have an 80-20 scenario here, right? This might take a bit to play out. If we get another push to the upside, this green line again is that daily D extension, right in that 118 and 127 zone that we're kind of ranging in, right? We also have a double bottom scenario at this previous B bound, or at the B boundary, not previous, but at the B boundary, right? Double bottom scenario pushing to the upside. So we'll see if we're able to get long for a little bit longer and then see if we can get some retracement action to happen there. Maybe off of a double top scenario, getting to that daily D extension. All right. So coming down to the 1, right? Optimal opportunity to get long was the 618 retracement. We had the 80-20 scenario here. It played out beautifully, gave us a 618 retracement. We got a double bottom in that zone, right? Actually got to a 786 retracement there, right? So that was an optimal opportunity to get long, fade that yen strength, and we're up. Off the low, 200 pips to the upside, right? That was Tuesday. That was last week. We got a pullback here on Friday, right? And started to continue making that move. So this was Sunday, right? So even if you took that on Sunday, still at that 618 retracement zone, you're still up over 100 pips, right? So coming into Tuesday, if you just took these yen crosses, you're you're approaching 400 or 500 pips on a Tuesday. If you took some of the other 80-20 scenarios, you're 750 pips up on Tuesday. So the market moves. The market moves, and the weekly ritual is worth your time. It's worth your time every time. Anybody got any questions on anything that we covered this morning? No?
No, sir. Great work.
Benny, anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, man. Great session, right? Preparation is key. Right? Preparation is key. Let the trade setups come to you. Look forward to seeing everybody tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session. Great work, Brian.
Appreciate it, man. You too, dude. All right, everybody. Have an awesome Tuesday. We'll see you tonight. Peace.
Have a good day. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.